Welcome back to part 3 of the Crescent Hawk's Revenge. Okay, in this video, I think we were unsuccessful in the last video. Yeah, we were unsuccessful in the last video. We were up against the Whitworth and the Locust that we let escape and the Panther. In this scenario, we do actually manage to get rid of them both, and we end up coming up with a new enemy called the Rommel Tank. The Rommel Tank is a tracked vehicle. It weighs in at 65 tons, so equal to probably a medium mech. Because I think heavies are around 80 tons. Or is that assault? Not sure, just give me a second. Let me just check on the Griffin. Oh, so it's 10 times heavier than the Griffin. So it's probably about heavy. Timberwolf or the well-known Mad Cat. Yeah, it's probably approaching assaultish, possibly even heavy, because the Mad Cat or the Timberwolf is 75. Yeah, so it's a heavy, it's medium heavy. It's armed with one autocannon 20, an LRM5 and a small laser, and it goes at about 65 kilometers an hour. Excuse me. So it packs a punch, and there are two of them in this scenario, which are apparently escorting an APC, which will not be listed here at the moment because we don't quite manage to get that far. So anyway, let's have a look.
Infocom presents the Crescent Hawk's Revenge.
Right, so we go back to the original scenario. Not the original, but the one we messed up on.
Jason, this is Rex, code red.
Just trying to remember what. So that was the Whitworth in. I target the Locust, obviously, because I need to get rid of that. It's slow, but it's one of those annoying things that would be nice to get rid of. So I decide to move the Phoenix Hawk and give it a bit of constant moving. Thank God the Locust has got its legs blown off, so that's one less thing I've got to think about. So move some concentration of fire on the Panther, because the Panther's a pain. And keep the Phoenix Hawk moving, because the Griffin doesn't seem to be targeted at the moment. So if I keep the Jason Youngblood's mech moving, it's probably a slightly better strategy. And do the same with the Griffin so I can get a better shot on it way around. think in that point I'm still being hit by the locust. Really should have seen that, but when you've got like 2 of the mechs to worry about as well, it's not that easy to think about.
Jason, this is Rex. Over.
So the locust is on 10%, and the Panther's hardly been scratched, arguably. The Phoenix Hawk is taking a pounding. Whitworth has barely been touched as well. Fifty 50% on the Panther now. Finally, somewhere. Still, the Whitworth's quite a danger as well. Graham finally shows up, which he always turns up at 14:30. At this point, as you can already tell, legs been blown off, and yeah, I figured it was going to go that way, but I just let it go for it. Okay, so this time I decide to draw the locust off and see what happens. And then I realised, well, hang on a minute, if I'm going to go for a firefight at this point, water's probably the best place to be in, because hopefully it should help cool the mech down a lot. And not only that, in 2 minutes, Graham should come with his Jenner a bit more fixed, which gives us a bit more firepower. So move down basically towards where Graham would be in the Jenner. Locust still hasn't been touched yet. Phoenix Hawk is taking a little battering, but not as much as the last scenario. Griffin's hardly been touched. And obviously keeping both of the mechs moving down. I suppose at this point I'm sat there thinking, well, sod it, let's just go for an all-out attack and not bother doing the whole moving around for a bit. Let's just crunch it. Again, keeping the Phoenix Hawk moving because it's not as heavy as the Griffin, and the Griffin again hasn't been looked at. Locust has had a bit of a beating now, but still is on the move.
Jason, this is Kurt. Over.
And whoopsie, legs have gone, which means this scenario is definitely stuffed. So I'm going to play this one through. Locust has got 0 armor, it's still up. Although the Panther's still on 70. Still not a great, would like to be lower than that obviously, but nope. Whitworth has hardly been scratched. Neither is my Griffin, but there you go.
Jason, this is Rex. Over.
Yeah, 10%. This ain't gonna go anywhere. Right. Let's try this one last time. And this time we're just gonna go straight down towards the where Graham is gonna be and target Locust at the same time. Already Locust is on 20%, which is good. Phoenix Hawk is faring a bit better than it did in the last scenario. Keep him moving down. And the legs are blown off, but that's not the point. It's still a bit of a danger, so let's leave the Locust there. Then start targeting the other two. Again, keep both of the mechs moving. I then realised the Panther shut down, and I was considering going to fire at will, and I thought, you know what, sod it, I'll just leave it. I suppose that's the other thing as well, is if my mechs are in water, obviously with their mechs being in water, they're going to cool down as well a lot quicker, but yeah, well, just makes it a bit easier and a bit faster, I suppose. And Graham's quite close by, which is good. Let's get on the Whitworth straight away, because obviously that's a bit of a danger. If we can get some more firepower on that, that's better. And already it's down to 70. Panther still needs a good hit, but we'll see how this goes.
Jason, this is Rex. Over.
Really pushed the attack on a Whitworth as well. And it's starting to take some hits. Decide to go against the Panther at this point because,
Jason, this is Kurt.
well, the Phoenix Hawk does need a little bit of help, and we've already punched the Whitworth quite a while, so leave the Griffin to mop up basically, and then keep the Phoenix Hawk moving. And then nicely, the Whitworth becomes destroyed, which is probably a good shot. And then switch to the Panther. Leave the Phoenix Hawk down there because it's already hitting 30% armor. We don't really need him to be anything less than that, because as you all know, if he dies, that's it, the campaign's done. And arguably, well, not arguably, we are pretty much doing a lot better than the last two scenarios. The major threat, the Whitworth, is gone now, so it's just a case of trying to get rid of the Panther. Thing is though, is the Panther's already ahead and is moving fairly quickly, and I don't think I can get back to getting him. Yeah, I mean there's still quite a distance to go, but it's too much of a big gap between my mechs and his. Right, so the next scenario, 2 Rommel Tanks. Okay, so the Rommel Tank should be heading around this on this area. I can't remember where. So have a quick check. There's nothing. So the first priority is to get the pretty knackered Phoenix Hawk out of the way. Have another check to see whether if there's any there. There isn't. So start to move the mechs into the position.
Jason,
Oh,
this is
and
Kurt.
there's the
Code
Rommel
red.
Tank. And obviously I want to move the Jenner a bit back because otherwise it'd be right next to it, and that's something I don't really want. Rommel Tank's barely been scratched. I need to, yeah, I decided to move the Phoenix Hawk a bit further up, but still out of the way. It's the Jenner that's taking the hits at the moment. I also should have realised that I should have targeted the Rommel with the Phoenix Hawk, but you see that the weapons are greyed out, so I wasn't sure whether the weapons were working or they were damaged, so that's why I never actually targeted the tank in the first place with the Phoenix Hawk. %. Move the Jenner a bit closer but a bit further away. Griffin's now, well, it has taken a hit now. Or at least has, yeah, taken a hit.
Jason, this is Kurt. Over. Jason, this is Rex. Code red.
Luckily I moved because I noticed the other Rommel tank sat there, and I'm thinking, it's a little bit too close to the Griffin. Get him out the way. and then target the other one, obviously, because I want to pull that one down a bit. Second Rommel Tank starting to get a bit too close to my liking. Yeah, really too close.
Jason, this is Rex, code red.
Thought the ABC tank had turned up and I couldn't see it, so wasn't sure why that was a code red. Griffin's been blown up. Which leaves Jason's Phoenix Hawk and the Jenner. So,
Jason, this is
since
Kurt,
I already
over.
know that this is going to be well, the unsuccessful mission, I decide, sod it, let's give it a target build with the Jenner.
Jason, this is Kurt, code red. Jason, this is Kurt, over. Jason, this is
Finally
Kurt,
a Rommel
over.
Tank got wasted. Jenner goes. So I decided to move the Phoenix Hawk to get a bit closer. And I can't. At which point I realise, this is going to take ages and the next scenario is not going to go down well anyway. So, yeah. So yeah, until the next video, I will see you then.